Alice in Dairyland. Haley Heinzel joins us in studio as she passes the 6-month mark of her job as Wisconsin's agricultural ambassador. Travel is a big part of the job. She says she's put on over 20,000 miles on the vehicle so far, going to local events and classrooms across Wisconsin. Her work has also taken her overseas. She just returned from a trade mission to Vietnam. Haley tells us about the trip and why she was asked to join the Ginseng Board of Wisconsin.
Well, it was kind of a surprise for me. Alice is sometimes the last to find out about these fun trips. But once all the approvals went through, they let me know I'm going to Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore in mid-January for Wisconsin Ginseng Board of Wisconsin. And so it was really great. In Wisconsin, it's our state herb, and we produce 98% of the cultivated ginseng in the United States. But we actually export 85% of that over to Asian countries. So it makes a lot of sense to see where those products are actually being sold and the people who are using them.
As Wisconsin's agriculture ambassador, when you go overseas on such trade mission, what is your role while you're over there?
A lot of it, I'm doing a lot of learning. Like I said, that's where a lot of those products are being used. So the same way here in Wisconsin, we look for that Proudly Wisconsin cheese label. Over in Vietnam, Singapore, and Malaysia, they're looking for a label that says Proudly Wisconsin Ginseng. And so really learning about how those different communities are using ginseng products, the different innovations and the types of products they're creating. A lot of ginseng is used in traditional Chinese medicine, but there's not a huge Chinese population in Vietnam. So they're using a lot of very innovative ways to use ginseng. I got to try some ginseng chocolate-covered almonds and ginseng gummy bears.
What surprised you the most then? If it's your job to learn, what surprised you?
The first thing, the heat. Every day it was over 90 degrees, but also how welcoming everyone was and the fact that they really knew where Wisconsin was. Aside from the ginseng, in one of the Vietnamese grocery stores, we did find Belgioso Wisconsin cheese. So that was really, really interesting. But the fact that Wisconsin agriculture really touches people around the world and is important to people worldwide was really impressive to see.
Any cultural differences? Did you have to brush up on anything before going to a foreign country?
Their dining differences are a little bit different from ours. You sit all together at the table and they have a giant lazy Susan. Your host orders everything that everyone's going to eat. So you get to look at the menu, but you don't really get to order. They kind of pick all the dishes, and then all of them are served family style on the lazy Susan. So you pass it around. Everything is with chopsticks. You can ask for a fork, but it's definitely better if you use chopsticks. And we actually got to do a couple different meals that were completely focused on Wisconsin ginseng. So all of the soups or toppings had ginseng incorporated in some way, which was really interesting.
The time of year was significant. There's a reason you guys travel there in January, right?
Lunar New Year is going on right now, which was also a really interesting thing to see while we were over there. Ginseng is also a gift that's commonly given in Chinese culture during Lunar New Year. So when we did head to some of those traditional Chinese medicine shops, you saw beautiful ginseng roots on display for gifting to parents or friends or family. So that was really interesting. And it was also really cool to see all the decorations and festivities going on.
Did any business get done? I don't know if you can tell us about that, but it was a trade mission. Did we make sales?
That's a really good question. Yes, it was a business trip, but say the sitting in the conference centers was probably the least interesting part of, don't want to bore anybody, but there was a lot of sitting and talking about kind of what they need from growers, how we can help them market their products. The Ginseng Board of Wisconsin themselves does not sell ginseng. Their whole purpose is just to help ginseng growers sell ginseng. So it was opening up new markets. Malaysia is actually a 100% new market for Wisconsin ginseng. This was the first time the board had ever traveled there. And so we actually didn't see a whole lot of Wisconsin ginseng in those markets. So that means that it is a new opportunity for ginseng growers. So it was really great to kind of forge those connections for the first time.
As you told us, most of Wisconsin's ginseng is exported, about 80%. Mm-hmm. So do we ever come across it? How do Americans like it versus overseas?
The best way to find Wisconsin ginseng here in Wisconsin is heading to the website, realwisconsinginseng.com. There's a full list of ginseng growers, and it's always great if you can purchase directly from those producers. Their websites are linked right off of there. My favorite way to consume Wisconsin ginseng is in the powdered form. I love it in my hot chocolate, especially this time of year.
So you give it the thumbs up. So if people haven't had it before, they may want it. Is it for flavor or is it for those health benefits that ginseng touts?
Some people do enjoy using it as a supplement. Me personally, I take it just for the flavor. I think that the hot chocolate with the ginseng in it almost has a little bit of a hazelnut flavor. Some people also enjoy ginseng tea or having it in baked goods. For some, it's an acquired taste, but it is definitely delicious. I definitely recommend.
As we heard from Alice in Dairyland, Haley Heinzel, you can visit realwisconsinginseng.com to find growers near you. And while you're on the website, you can check out not only the farm stories, but the people who are using Wisconsin ginseng every day to enrich their taste buds and their lives. Wisconsin ginseng's slogan is bolder, bitter, better. Haley was a part of the Ginseng Board's trade mission earlier this month to Vietnam to share that message. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.